May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. We're looking at the US dollar index right now on these charts because we want to see what the US dollar is going to do this week. Let's look at the economic calendar real quick. Monday, we have in the US a bank holiday, a MLK Day. All right. The CAD has got some news items going in there, so you want to watch that. Pound on Tuesday has a couple of good things going on there. All right. Wednesday, we have CPI for the pound. The World Economic Forum takes place for the day 3, and the president of the United States is going to be speaking during that time. That'll be interesting watch, and the U.S. dollar will probably be very sensitive to some of the things that he might say. All right, Thursday, we got core PCE price index. That's going to be a big one for the US dollar. And we have final GDP numbers quarter to quarter. All right, and the JPY. All right, the Japanese yen is going to have their interest rate decision on Thursday, and that is tentative. We've been talking about possible interventions by the BOJ because of the weakness shown in the Japanese yen. They might want to bolster it up. We'll see what goes on then. Friday, bunch of news items for the euro and the pound, and the U.S. dollar as well. Flash services for manufacturing and PMI. All right, so interesting Greek should be a good week to trade right now. Let's look at the monthly. We're looking at the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, the daily, and 4 hour. All right, monthly wise, we're up. All right, why do I say up? Look at this ascending channel here, and you've been seeing that from this low to that high. That is a higher low. That is a higher high. We have a break of structure here, a bullish break of market structure here, and then sideways sweep of the consolidation highs, and then we have a market structure shift to the downside here. But what I want you to see is there was a impulsive move up and a pullback for a potential higher high. I've been saying that for months. We've been here for months. Let's see what this is talking about down here on the weekly. Okay. And what we got here is a low, a lower high, a lower low, dotted, a lower high, a sweep of the previous low, and then a move higher to sweep that high. For me, that is a bullish indication. We have a move higher, and you want to see this range of price action pull back into, all right, corrected, all right. And what do we want to see in that correction? We want to see a move back below 50% of this trading range from this low to this high. We'll use the Fibonacci retracement tool here, right? And what do we have? Here's the 50% line here. We did trade back below that 50% and to what? The OTE, optimal trade entry levels, 618, 705, and 786. All right. This is where the money gets made. Price pull back into that and then does what? It pulls back up. All right. That it ended this pullback. That's what we look for. Let's take a closer look at that. Let me move this Fibonacci retracement tool out of the way. All right. Get out of here. All right. Here we go. All right. So we see down, 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 down. And then we move up, forming this block, a bullish block here. Price comes back to test that bullish block and continues higher, closing above the previous weekly candle here. That indicates that we will at least upon the new weekly candle open, we will trade towards the high at the very least, but I'm looking for price to continue higher, not going below 50% of this large wick here. Okay, this is the line that was drawn here. All right, once we broke higher and traded through this down close candle. We formed an order block. Price came back to mitigate that order block, creating a blue, you see that blue field here? That's a bullish fair value gap. I'm looking for that to be a breakaway gap, and I'm looking for some expansion up higher towards these relative equal highs up here. We have a sweep of this high, which swept that high. This is the high that swept. We have the move down, and then I'm looking for this to be the move back up to that draw on liquidity. All right, if we go up here to the daily, what do we see? All right, this we see these down close candles, which were this move here, which was that move there. All right, we see that it was a sweep of what do you call it? Sell side liquidity. We pushed down, and then we had the push up, and price came back precisely to trade back into this order block here. All right, and mitigate that order block. We consolidated a bit, and then we have another breakout above not only this high, but this internal high here. These internal highs are very important because these are the ones that shifted the market bearishly. All right, we have a low here, a lower high, and then a new lower low. When you break those in the opposite direction, that means the pullback is over, folks, and we can look for price to continue up higher. All right, if we go down to the 4 hour, what do we see? We can see this ascending triangle here, an ascending triangle, and you can see it was broken out here, right? Price pulled back to it to retest, and then had a nice bullish lift from there. That's what I like to see. But in terms of smart money, all right, what do we have? You see the down close candle, and then the shift in the market up, and a retest of that down close market, that down close candle here, all right, which was a bullish area of fair value, and price pulled back into it. Didn't had a little these series of down close candles had a little problem getting past that. It took 2 times, and price traded above, which is a very bullish indication. Price pulled back into it precisely. I'm talking about to the pip to retest, and then we had a bullish move from there. What do we expect going into next week? Let's take a closer look. We can see that there is a bullish fair value gap here. Bullish fair value gap. A bullish order block. All right. See a bullish order block here. All right. And price could very well come back into that bullish order block. All right. You see the candles here. It could pull back, mitigate the order block, and then continue higher to these buy side liquidity points up higher. All right, those would be our targets for the week ahead. All right, we took out this one. We can expect a pullback into this consolidation, and then a lift higher towards this high, and then possibly this high, and the relative equal highs above. Okay, so that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Bullish. All right, a pullback would be great if it doesn't continue higher from these levels without that pullback. Well, that's fine too. I mean, if it just continue higher from here, that's okay. But it's the pullbacks where I'm gonna wait for. All right, so I can get a good entry. I don't want to catch it on the high. I want to catch it on the pullback, right? So this would be the area that I'd be looking for. If you put your Fibonacci retracement tool on this move to the high here, to this high, all right, from that low, push, pull, push, all right. I'm looking for a price where it is, overlapping, overlapping the 618 OTE level. I'm just looking for that OTE level to pull back and and get in on. All right, but I'm bullish on this. Hope you enjoyed this. I have a bunch of other videos to follow this one. The next one would be Euro USD. Hey, join me there. I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for watching. May profits be upon you.